Cristina Mittermeier has cultivated the craft of photography to use beauty to tell her stories that command attention and action and have a purpose to make the world a better place for all of the inhabitants. She co-founded Sea Legacy. She's an advocate for the ocean and a true leader in earth activism.
Hello everyone, my name is Cristina Mittermeier. I am a photographer and a conservationist. And like all of you, I have been quarantined now for several weeks. I'm reaching you from my home on Vancouver Island here in the Pacific Northwest in British Columbia. These last few weeks have been really important weeks of reflection. I have celebrated every single Earth Day. And it is surprising to me that even as humanity has come together for 50 years to celebrate the fact that Earth is our foundation, we find ourselves at a crossroads when climate change, the loss of biodiversity, the loss of indigenous knowledge, and now the emergence of these diseases that are jumping from wildlife into humans is a real threat to humanity. And I have been wondering, how did that happen? For the past 25 years, I have been working as a conservationist, as a photographer, as a scientist. I have tried to use my images as a way to invite a larger audience into the incredibly important work that is environmentalism. My work as a photographer has me traveling to some of the most remote corners of our planet. And I get to see both the beautiful and the pristine, although it is getting harder and harder to find, as well as the devastation that humans are capable of inflicting on Mother Nature. From rampant agricultural expansion in areas that should be protected, to overfishing, to hunting for sport and for fun, it feels like Mother Nature is suffering a million wounds every day. I'm always a little surprised when people ask me, how come you care so much about the environment? They ask me as if they lived on a different planet. The reason I care about the environment is because I don't feel like I'm separate from the environment. Anybody who doesn't understand that a dead ocean, a planet without forest and without wildlife is a dead planet for all, has missed a really important point. So with my photographs, I try to invite people in a very beautiful and positive way. I feel like a beautiful photograph is like an open door through which people can enter this very important conversation. The only thing that's been a real surprise with COVID-19 is that it didn't happen sooner. COVID-19 is not an accident. It is a symptom of a very sick planet. And the ailment that our planet suffers from is caused by humans. The infractions that we have committed against nature, the atrocious behavior that we have exhibited against wildlife, and our lack of understanding of the systems that maintain life on Earth is what has put us in this position today. I want to invite you, let's not lose this moment. Let's take this as an opportunity, as a springboard, as a jumping point from which we can start a different kind of future. So what's the most important message that I can share with you today? Well, that perhaps is the question that we need to be asking ourselves every day. How can I be the cure? Instead of being the problem, instead of being somebody that consumes mindlessly, somebody that's not thinking about the other forms of life that share the planet with us, let's instead be somebody who's interested in being the cure to the problems of our planet. The thing you can do today is start using the hashtag #BeTheCure and make a commitment to do a little bit more every day. We need to give space for nature to heal, for biodiversity to come back. Our planet is only strong because it's diverse, and as we chip away at the fabric of life, we take away its strength. allowing nature to recover, allowing ecosystems to rebound, allowing indigenous people to keep protecting the lands where they live is the best insurance we have against the next pandemic. As somebody who has been extremely lucky to experience wild nature, I want to remind you, we live in a beautiful planet. It is worth protecting. Happy Earth Day, everyone.
Thank you so much for joining us, Cristina. The striking beauty in your images really has the power to change perception. How important is it for you to create a space for people to reflect and react?
It is so important, Tasha, and thank you for having me. It's such an honor to be here, and what an awesome summit. I'm having such a good time. The reason it's important to create a space where everybody feels included and as part of the conversation is because I think for the longest time, the conversation on environmentalism really was led with science. And as important as science is, and as important as it is that we understand what's happening to our planet, people that don't have a background in science or higher education felt excluded. So through the use of photography and storytelling, I have tried to open the door and make the price of entry lower so that more people can join this important conversation.
And absolutely, I think that having subjects that you've taken photos in over 120 countries, that you're really highlighting this interconnection that we have, that this shared ecosystem, and this element of inclusivity in general. In terms of doing advocacy work, maybe you could talk a bit about why it's important that we all feel like we're part of this movement.
Yes, the aspect of inclusivity of my work is hugely important to me because there was a time on our planet when a lot of the focus, the narrative was on the other, those immigrants, those people over there. And the fact that we are all interconnected, I think it's never been more evident than during this pandemic, just how quickly one event can spread around the globe so quickly. And making sure that when we see images of people in other countries, we're not looking at how different they are, but at how similar we are. We're all part of the same family, and we all live on this tiny little blue marble floating around in space, and there's nowhere else for us to go. So making sure that we all feel empowered and that we all feel invited to participate in a better and healthier future is of paramount importance if we're going to win this battle.
Well, I feel like there might be a lot of people who are feeling like me right now that we could wish we could talk to you for hours and hours and hours, but our time is up. So for those who would like to ask questions, have comments, Cristina will be on her Instagram and Twitter accounts at Mitty and at C Mittermeier. So you can go there and continue this conversation.